Hey, how are you, Devil's Advocates and Gemstones? I hope you are doing well. But before I begin, hopefully you all got to take a peek at the intros and was able to read all that information. It's the same thing I go through every week, remembering to support the channel and so forth, and checking the links below in the description box. But I want to thank my new subscribers. Yay, for coming on to the Tarot Temple. And I'd like to thank my faithful ones who tune in on a regular basis, if not every week. Because of you, the Tarot Temple exists, and I want to thank you so much. But I don't know what was going on with my gemstones and my devil advocates for this week, although you stayed in the premieres. Sagittarius just came through and just kind of, you know, I did y'all own views this week. So for those of you who are new to the temple, if you are a devil's advocate that has Sagittarius in your chart, you know, you gemstones can check that out. You know how it rolls because you've been at the top of the list for what, weeks? I know these 5-6 weeks. So nonetheless, you came second in views, and my views are all pertain to my subscribers, not those who are come in to speculate, okay? But after that, it was Libra, so I don't have to tell you to peep, you know, the premieres, although I hope you do, especially if it's in your chart. But we're going to go ahead and find out what's going on in terms of your overall theme. What is Devil Advocates and Gemstones movie theme for this week's Work and Money, dear source, for March 27th until April 2nd? And happy spring. Yes. Okay. It's time for that fertilization. Okay, so your movie for this week is a blank card. Maybe you don't have a movie this week. Maybe you still where you was before. I don't know, but she gave me the blank card. And I didn't even know. I didn't know where it was in the deck, but I didn't expect it to do that. But I got to, I don't know, I got to do it again. I just can't not do that, okay? Maybe she was just telling me, you've got to take this out of, ooh, a bent one. I don't like that. Okay, it's not the strongest card stock. This is my personal deck that I created. This is my Spearit Vibes movie deck. Okay, source, do you have a theme for Devil's Advocates for this week? It's work and money. Maybe not that one. I don't know, y'all. Maybe you don't have a movie. Maybe she was saying there was no, maybe it's the same. I don't know. Let's see what this says. Okay. And if it fits, please acquit. If it doesn't fit, if it fits, please knit. If it doesn't fit, please acquit. Okay. Oh, you all stay in the scary stuff. Okay. You all have Carrie. Okay, she was remade, but it was back in 1976 that the original movie began or was produced. Yeah, it's really good though. You know, Carrie's mother was a religious fanatic, and that's really affected her mentally. And she would get picked on at school and so forth. And those who messed with her in the end, they had to pay for it. You know, one girl ended up with psychological problems behind all of this. It's really deep. It's really deep. So your theme may be dealing with psychological issues, you know, from the past. Maybe you were picked on. Maybe you came out of a very strict religious background, and that has affected you psychologically. I know I went through that. A lot of people do. They don't know how those traditions truly affect them psychologically. So I keep saying psychologically. There's something psychologically going on with you from your past, from your upbringing, okay, that you may need to deal with. okay? It's affecting you psychologically, and there is a karma that can come behind those things. And in the movie, it did. She did. She came back to haunt them. Maybe something's going to come back to haunt you. I don't know. But whatever it is, when there is some type of psychological effect, you need to get it fixed, right? You need not to live in fear. You need to go get that healing, okay? So let's go ahead and get your planetary lineup for this week. And again, I hope you are doing well if I have not said that. For those of you who are new to the temple, if you're in the house of Gemini, sometimes these messages do not resonate, and that's fine. That's why I'm always encouraging you to get your natal birth chart. This is a classroom, a study hall of sorts, okay? So you don't just come here to listen and critique. You come to learn. So you may want to bring learning tools, right? Paper and pencil, things to take notes with. And you can follow your own journey, because this is a saga, and your saga doesn't end until the day you die, okay? That's just how it rolls. So astrology is a real science. External energies, you are dealing with the wands or the staffs of Uranus. Internally, you'll be dealing with the wands and the staffs of Earth. So some serious energy going on this week. Devil advocates and gemstones, okay? Serious energies, okay? I'm feeling like something needs to be completed, so you can come to a pause and come to a rest. This is temporary rest, temporary ending. This may come by surprise, okay? You're not prepared for this. For some of you, you may be surprised how quickly you may be surprised that something has ended, that something has been laid to rest. I generally see this as temporary, okay? Or you may enact something, a behavior, an action, or something, your energy or something that causes things to come to rest, or for something to end. You know, this could be simply maybe you may have to get in your child's ass in a certain kind of way, and it gives you that temporary rest. They wasn't expecting it, right? And then bam, 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 you know, you do what you got to do as a parent, and there's rest. It's that kind of energy, okay? Internally, you kind of focus on where you want to put your energy, what you want to deal with, okay? You know, it's that kind of energy where it's like, if it don't make you feel good, you're not doing it. It's kind of like an attitude, you know. It's kind of like an attitude, you know. You may or may not feel like paying your bill today. It doesn't mean that you're late or anything, but maybe you may not feel like doing things as you had planned, okay? But I do know that you want to finish up some stuff. But it's got something this week, it's got something to do with energy levels. It's got a lot to do with energy levels, okay? Let's go ahead and see what your mood swings are like and how those add up or parallel with your planetary forces, okay? So we're going to go ahead and do this. Mood swing. You know, devil's advocates and gemstones, y'all are so good for me, because you are always pushing me to do something that I did not realize that I was going to do or didn't want to do. And originally, for the merit system, a movie card was not, you have to have so many views in order to get the movie card and some other things. But for whatever reason, I had to change it, and I realized, oh, Gemini, again, affected my life. All right, affected my life. Okay. There we go again with those cards that shouldn't even. Okay, there we go. You just something about your reading. At first it was the movies, now it's the lunar cards. Externally, you have the moon in Virgo, which is common, a common energy. And internally, you're dealing with the moon in Cancer, which I think is common for you. And as you know, Virgo deals with health and details. Issues surrounding health and exercise may come to the fore. Focus on your physical well-being. I told you it's got something to do with your energy this week. Okay, so I don't know if some of you are dealing with anemia, okay, or you just overexerting yourself in some area of your life. Internally, spend time with family or helping others. Avoid situations that can be a drain on your emotions. And again, we're dealing with that energy. Like I said, I was talking about getting in your child's ass or something. It could be anybody's ass, but that steals your energy. Whatever you're dealing with, something has to be done away with, eradicated. That's what I'm hearing. All right, we're gonna get your sight word for this week's work. Money and romance, dear source, dear love. What would you like for me to relate to your people? Those evidence and gemstones. What is their main word for this week's work? Money and romance, dear source. What would you like for me to share with them regarding? Here it is. It says sense, feel. We've had this before quite a bit, a few times at least in reading. Sense, feel. So sense something, you feel a certain kind of way. I don't know what that is. Only you will. Since then, I feel blank. Since you've been gone, since I've been away, since things ended, since I've done this action, you're going to feel a certain kind of way. That's what's going on this week when it comes to work, money, and romance. Since I don't have any energy, I don't feel like going. Remember I said that? Something about your energy, but you don't feel like going. All right. Let's go ahead and dabble into these cards and get your forecast and see what's going on with you. Yes, hunty. Yes, so I am. It's nice to see other, signs get on board. You're a great motivator. And Sagittarius did that. They came through. They got like a straight hour vid. Okay. They got everything. So it's like 14 parts to be the top premiere, okay? Again, remember to check the description box on ways to reach out to me, as well as how to book a reading. And I got some links below if you'd like to go shopping. That's a great way to support the temple, as well as checking out my other platform that's been on YouTube for like a year. There's Strictly Romance at Work. And then the link, if you would like to tie the temple or contribute to the temple, there is a link below for that too. Overall energy is the daughter of Disc, and she is in the southern position. Your energies is based on the world card, and it's up in the north position. What can you expect this week? The Four of Swords, and it is up, okay? And that is stemming from the Ace of Swords facing my west. Ace of Swords, okay? And your outcome, we have, wow, we have the Devil card, okay? And this was part of your descendants energy. Conflict and or challenge, supportive and or blessed energy we'll discuss. Your descendant is the Centaurs and Man-child, which is Sagittarius. Seven of Cups, you got a lot to fulfill. This is responsibility. This is also filling people in, like where you work, and you're filling people in with what's going on, what's happening maybe at the workplace, or what's going on in life. I see laundry being a big deal this week when it comes to your work. Others of you, this is filling orders. You got a lot to fill in. That's what you got a lot to fill in. Orders, people. You got laundry going on this week when it comes to work and money. And I'm also hearing fulfilling. doing things that, didn't I tell you that when it came to the earth, your energy, doing things that are fulfilling. This is voluntary, okay? This is an obligation to yourself. You don't have to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do nothing. And maybe you don't want to do nothing. Okay? Maybe you don't want to do nothing. It's all based on the world energy, okay? And this is tinkering and tampering and tonking and just doing whatever makes you happy, whatever pleases you, being in your own world. Some of you just only dealing with your circle of friends, your associations, but basically just connecting with yourself and doing the things that please you, things that you enjoy, things that make you happy. Okay? There's a pleasure principle ethic to this. Okay? This is some of you, just out of sheer fun, just creating things. Maybe you have a talent and you like working on that talent, not so much for making money, not so much to be a star, but just because you enjoy it. And I keep hearing the word gospel. So I don't know if this is dealing with gospel music, something religious. Did we touch on that earlier? Something religious. Maybe that's what you're doing in your world. You're listening to certain types of music. This could be gospel music, religious type of music, but music that stimulates your soul, okay? That speaks to your soul, private worship. That's what your energy is based on. It's all stemming, makes sense. It's stemming from some acceptable truth, okay? Something that you accept as truth, okay? And I'm hearing you have dealt with this truth, and this truth is allowing you to embrace yourself. You coordinating yourself, coordinating your life activities, okay? And I'm hearing you've been forced to think like this. You've been forced kind of, you couldn't deny this truth, whatever it is. And you're exercising that truth now. You're putting your best foot forward, because this is self-absorbed energy. This is getting into you. This is rectifying your spirit and your mind. It's something very spiritual going on with you right here. This is definitely a transformation or some transition that you're going through. Let's find out why we have this Ace of Swords and the World card this week. I really believe you've been looking at yourself. You've been taking in information. You've been taking in things that your soul can resonate with. That's truth. It's kind of like this week you are lifting your spirits, there's a certain kind of joy that comes with truth, okay? It's a certain kind of joy. It's like when you can accept some things, you can start to let go, you start to feel freer, okay? Yeah. It has something to do with the Nine of Swords and the Lover's card, okay? So some of you, this is definitely dealing with sorting out the connection, okay? Because this is just being in a state of worry, concern, regrets, confusion, mental confusion, being very psychological But it has something to do with something that on the home front, this could be with a soul mate connection. Okay. This could be dealing with something that's confusing where you live. This could be about somebody that you have deep feelings for that's with somebody else. Because oftentimes the Lover's card comes with a third party. Okay? And this is kind of like, this stuff has been psychological, and you accepting this is kind of setting you free. It's put, whatever this experience is it's kind of like an antidote that connects you with source, with God, with the Most High, with the universe, with spirit, whatever you want to call it, whatever you connect to. This pain, this hurt, this disappointment, this despair is like the catalyst to getting you to focus on you, to focus on what's right and what's wrong with you, to focus on why you the way you are. And you know, this is not about blame. This is about accepting things and understanding things, because with the Ace of Swords comes understanding, having to understand something. And it came out of truth. Because this is being totally worried, totally psychologically out of whack about somebody's love story, some soulmate connection. Maybe this connection could have been with you, and things just haven't worked out the way you had hoped. But there's these feelings and thoughts wrapped up into this situation, because otherwise you wouldn't even be feeling this way. Okay? You wouldn't be feeling that way if it wasn't. Now, your overall energy, you have the Daughter of Disc and it's South. But what the energy and what I'm hearing from out of this is static. Okay, so there's been some static. You know, something just, it's a great connection, but it hurts for some reason. And I feel like you're trying to figure out how to communicate, how to connect. They go to static, because you know static, it brains is like magnetic. Okay, it's like you want to send some type of signal or send some type of message, but you have to think how you're going to do that. It's almost like you want to use telepathy to do it. Okay, thinking how to get in someone else's head. Others of you thinking how to get this out of your mind, off of your mind. I see some of you resorting to nature to free yourself, to connect with spirit. I see you in nature. But you want to undo something. Some of you want to undo a connection. You know, it's too much static involved with it. And that's weighing on you. Okay? Freeing yourself. Here it is again in your expectation. You have the Four of Swords here. Okay? Again, connecting with yourself. I can't make this up. Okay? Some of you are going back to ancient practices. like asanas. Okay, there was a sauna before there was ever a yoga. Okay, or any of those other meditative practices. Some of you, you're going back to those older things or the things that you've done before to connect with your inner being, because there is some truth, there is some understanding that has come, that has put you in this state. Okay, that pain, that psychological pain, that static, that stuff that you keep going through has led you to this. There was no other way. Some of you are definitely on the path where you are getting into your chakras, okay? It's trying to stay aligned with source, with your spirit, with your inner self, with the God within. Because some of you, you just really want time to yourself. You really want to be alone. But it came out of some relationship, some type of confusion in your neighborhood. But I believe for many of you, it keeps saying a relationship got something to do with it. I don't know if it's of you or outside of you or somehow a part of you, but it is. But how to think is the overall energy. How to think about matters, how to think about yourself, how to think about responsibilities. You're dealing with quite a bit. Okay? And I really think that you are connected to your descendant sign. And I'm going to encourage you to watch that, because that message that I was giving them is coming out of here. And I think their title is Out of Whack. And that's what I'm feeling with you, being out of whack. Okay? Being out of whack. Their underlying energy is your outcome, which is the devil. Okay? And it is definitely forced energy here. And I'm hearing payback. You know, you have to pay your taxes. The energy and message that I'm getting for this is like paying your dues, paying what you owe. I don't know if this has to do with your a religious style or some spiritual truth, because it's coming from something that you understand is true, that you have to meditate on, and that you have to pay the piper. Okay, you have to pay the piper in the outcome. You have to give up something in order to be. Now, some of this energy was about you deciding whether or not you want to do something. I said something about paying bills in the very beginning in your planetary lineup. It's here in the devil energy. So you may have to force yourself to get the energy and the attitude to do things that are responsible, because this is a responsibility. Okay? You don't have to, but you get the karma of that. You see what I'm saying? If you don't pay the piper, if you don't pay your taxes, if you don't pay your bills, then you're not going to have that utility. Okay? You're going to go into bigger debt. Okay? And I said something to the effect of that and said, you all really need to check out Sagittarius. Y'all are connected this week. That could possibly be connected to you or strongly in your chart. But whatever this is, you got to pay. You got to put in before you can even begin to build. Because this is also about building an empire, building your own thing, speaking your own language. But there is a price to pay first before you can do that. And that's what's going on here in your core energy. Okay? But for others of you, this is about tithing. This is about taxes. This is about paying the piper. This is about responsibility, something that you struggle with. That's what you're struggling with, devil's advocates and gemstones. And maybe you never had to do that before. Now it's time to grow up. You know, now it's time to be more responsible. And I'm also hearing something about around the clock in this devil energy. I don't know what that means, but if it pertains to you, you will know something around the clock. I don't know if it's deal with something online, like you can pay it online at any time, but it's something around the clock. What is your challenge this week? I'm telling you, you are connected with Sagittarius this week, and you have the affirmation card. Okay? Traditional charge of the star goddess. And this is dealing with affirmation or owning up to a particular type of belief. This deals more with the moon goddess, with the great mother. Okay, and we are speaking from the Mother Peace Tarot. Okay, but a lot of you, this is about acceptance, being divinely accepted. Okay, affirming who you are spiritually. You know what I'm saying? That's here. It's like a prayer. Okay, that's your conflict. Seeking God, the mother goddess face. Let me read this to you, a little bit of this to you. For I am the soul of nature that gives life to the universe. From me all things proceed, and unto me they must return. Let my worship be in the heart that rejoices. For behold, all acts of love and pleasure are my ritual. You're having a problem spiritually dealing with, some of you got mother issues. That's what this is about. She who gives you life. You got some mother issues here. Okay. Maybe your children have mother issues with you as well. I don't know. Maybe it's a mixture of both. You know, things do trickle down. The apple don't fall far from the tree. But that's a very spiritual thing. This is very spiritual. And for some of you, that overall energy is there, taking a closer look at this connection about sharing the same mind and how to come across and really doing some soul searching. Okay? What's going to help you this week? Okay, now you have the Four of Wands, but it's to the west, and this is again free will energy. This is voluntary. You don't have to do this, but you need to think about inviting somebody in, inviting them over. I'm also hearing some type of celebration. I don't know why. It could be in this bottom energy about, we're talking about music and things, but this is something you really have to think a lot about. I don't know if you need to invite them over to have, you know, a conversation. For some of you, this got to do with some type of celebration. I'm also hearing grand opening. But you need to think about going somewhere I don't know if this is a church, a school, a job, a workplace, accepting an invitation, but, and that may be where this comes in at. Since I went there, since I did that, I feel what, better? I don't know. But I do believe that it is connected somehow, some way. That Four of Wands, something you need to think about is your supportive, blessed energy. But if this pertains to you, you would know I'm going to go ahead and sum this up for you. Because like I said, this is a collective reading, a collective forecast. So I get a lot of different energies. Like, that's why stuff don't make sense half the time. And you have to figure out for yourself where you fit in. Or you can book a reading and we can do something very personal that you know is specific to you, nobody else. Okay? Okay, so you have run. Why did this come out again? I don't know. It's getting on my nerves. So you may need to go ahead and make some runs, and you think about going ahead and going to the store, paying them bills, doing stuff before stuff closes. There is something going on around the clock, but I'm not specific. What if somebody does accept payments around the clock? But I do believe that is online. Okay? So you need to think about making some quick runs. You may need to, let me give you a bit of advice. You have all of these responsibilities. Stop trying to do it all in a day. Make you a daily list, a weekly list, and jot them down, do them in parts, increments, okay? I'm going to do this, and this today. I'm going to do this, and this tomorrow. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to do this and this day, okay? Because everybody has different talents. Everybody can't do everything all at once, because there is an energy issue here. And it's weighing on somebody's psychology, okay? I may have to make some quick runs here, all right? We're going to get you a spiritual vibe oracle. I'm looking at this one. It's the one that's standing out the most. And remember to support the tempo again with your likes by commenting, sharing, and subscribing if you have not done so. But this is a perfect time to go ahead and give this vid some kind of thumbs. There you go. Now you have patent, okay? Patent. Okay, so a patent has something to do with a creation. Something that you want to do that you don't want nobody else doing. And sometimes this is related to personal assistance. So this may be something else that you may need to consider. Those of you, is personal assistance, okay? Hiring somebody that does that for a living. Let's go ahead and get you a reflective and let's see what she says this is. Patent. Some of you, is something that you've been working on. No, but you got to pay the piper. It may be for an actual patent. For others, this is about responsibility, getting things done so you can rest, so you can, conserve energy. You may need to consider a personal assistant, and it is reflected by the Six of Cups, and that's, returning and coming to a beautiful place, a sweet return. This could definitely be about a personal assistant, okay? Yeah. So all them kids and stuff, that's for some of you. So others of you, this whatever this is that you're making comes out of your childhood. That childhood, that place that you grew up was a sweet place, I see that you got a lot of attention. but still something somewhere was kind of an effect for some of you. Maybe like this religion or whatnot, some type of traditions or so forth. Okay, let's go ahead and get you a chakra, because that's what was coming out of your reading. Is you know, healing yourself, lining yourself, balancing your inner and outer sources, your inner spirit, your outer emotions, your outer your physical strength. Okay. And you have the sixth chakra, the third eye chakra, inner knowing, inner knowing. I trust my inner knowing, and I am at peace with myself. That goes to this right here. Okay, you can't make this up. I create more moments of stillness and silence, and I listen for the truth. I am open to connecting with and listening to my gut and my heart's feelings, and I don't override them with my mind's logic. I practice meditation, prayer, and contemplation. All right, that is what's going on with you. Let's get you a totem. Then we'll get your angel message. So, Source, what is the totem? What energies will help our beautiful gemstones and devil advocates this week when it comes to work, money, and romance? What energy do they need to take on to get them through this week's work, money, and romance? Because for some of you, romance is involved. It's right here in that reason. Trying to sort out something very heavy. Something's really been worrying you about some connection. It's a divine connection, whatever it is. And you have the zebra. Okay. To me, the zebra is tribal. So some of you may need to find your tribe. You know what I'm saying? Find out where you fit. You know, they could be online or not. The outcome is paying the piper for that idea. They could be dealing with industry. Okay. Dealing with industry. I don't know what industry you're trying to get into. You know? All right. It also deals with freedom, balance. That's been your biggest issue in this reading this week, is balance. Okay. Acceptance. Okay. Acceptance of what? Of others, of truth, of the situation. Determination, willpower. Okay, we said tribal. The same but different. And community and socialization, and much, much more. You can do your own research. Okay, so that's just some of the pointers that I have. You can do your own thing. But that is your total. You carry that around. Maybe you need to be more communal or something. Let's get you an angel message. And then we will close the temple. And remember to support this platform. Support your temple. Give me some likes. Give me some likes. Some kind of likes. Give me some comments. Let me know how this resonated with you. I cannot make this up. I see it already. That is the zebra, angel of freedom. Did we just say that? There it is, the angel of freedom. How do you get that freedom? You might have to run real quick or get you a personal assistant to help you so you can have some freedom to mind yours. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe you'll say, since I've invested in it, I feel so good. I feel so free. Since I took that advice, okay? It says, the angel of freedom, my soul's loving energy flows through my being. I am free. Dealing with your spirit and your energy. A great freedom is felt when we release the tension created by the lower centers of consciousness. Ooh, Carrie. Okay, let me stop. A great freedom is felt when we release the tension created by the lower centers of consciousness that trap us in attachments of power over others, money, and sensation. That was what was going on right here. Okay? Attachments of power over others, money, and sensation. When we simply allow the energies of the soul to direct our lives, we understand the freedom of being constructive and positive. That's what's going on here. That's what's going on here. Okay? We understand the freedom of being constructive and positive, accepting people and situations as they are. There go that sword, here and now, free from the side effects of negative reactions. And that's why you really got to get deep into your soul. And I'm going to leave it right here, Devil's Advocates and Gemstones. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Tarot Temple one more again for work, money, and romantic guidance. I can't wait to bring you another one. But until then, as I always say, remember to walk by faith and by sight. Till next week, Hotep, which means peace be unto you.